Okay, welcome to my channel. I have been doing a lot of dyeing recently, and I have been having so much fun with it. Stick around to the end of this video. I'll show you some of the finished fabrics that I have done recently, and it's just gotten me going, got me excited about making some different things. The other day I went to the store and needed some new outfits for spring and summer, and I found this dress, and it is rayon. It was 95% viscose or rayon and 5% spandex. So it's a nice stretchy dress, and you can see it's pale blue. And I thought I could dye that. So I'm going to. And I could not decide what pattern, I don't want a big bullseye in the front. I didn't, want to do, I thought about doing like a ice dyed geode pattern all over. And I kind of came up with a decision that it's going to be kind of a happy medium. What I'm going to do are some pleated kind of arcs from the side. So I think I want to do one kind of radiating arc here, and then one with kind of radiating from here down, and then they'll meet in the middle. And because it is light blue already, I'm going to dye it, I think, I have a lot of blue and white tie-dye in my wardrobe already. So I kind of don't feel like I want to just do blue on blue. So I think I'm going to do shades of purple and lavender and maybe a little pink, because any blue will just make it bluer, and or more purple, and I think it'll be pretty. And then what would normally be white in a tie-dye is going to be light blue. So I'm going to draw some arcs here, and I'm going to start by just marking the center of the arc. And this is a washable marker. This happens to be Rose Art, which means it'll wash out when I wash the dye out of the fabric. And I'm just gonna put my finger here. I tied a string around this just to make a simple compass. And then I'm gonna make another one a little deeper. This might be too deep. Oh no, perfect. And then I just kind of want to give myself this one I'm not going to really use for the tying purposes, other than it's going to tell me kind of when I'm running out of where I want my two arcs to meet. And then I'm going to come around to this side, and I think it'll look nice if it kind of comes from the waist, maybe a little higher than the waist, like that. And this one's going to be a little smaller, hopefully, maybe. A little bump in the road. There we go. And this one, I'm just going to go up to there. Hard time keeping my string tight here. I don't think I tied my knot real well. Hold on. Should have done this with sinew. Okay. And then this one I want to radiate out to about here. Okay. And then the areas that aren't part of these two arcs, like this part down here, I think I'm just going to crumple dye. We'll see when I get tying how that all works out. We'll see. Okay, so This is my sinew I've wrapped around. This is a beater for my metal singing bowls. I bought a set of singing bowls, and each bowl in the set came with its own suede hardwood beater, and I don't really need that many. So I used it as a handle so that I can pull my sinew tight. So what I'm going to do before I get started here, I'm going to tie a nice, there we go. Set that aside for now, because what I want to do, and I hope you can see this, I'm having a hard time getting my camera lined up. So what I'm going to do is start pleating on these two lines. Now, maths, if I pleat exactly even all the way around, it's not going to work because this arc is smaller than this one. So this side's going to have to, the pleats are going to have to be slightly smaller, or I'm sorry, slightly bigger to take in the effect of the arc. But that's why we draw out the arc, so that we can line these up. Now this is rayon, it's not cotton. Rayon is a little bit more delicate when wet, so you gotta be a little bit more gentle with it as you go around. Okay, so when I brought this home from the store the other day, I washed it in just a regular wash. How I'll wash it when but to get any manufacturing dirt, any sizing in the fabric, any fabric softeners that might have been put on it during manufacture, that kind of thing, out of it. And just I actually line dried it, because I line dried a lot of my clothes. And then I set it aside. Then today, when I wanted to get ready to tie it up, I put it in my bucket with soda ash water, which is the proportions are a gallon of gallon of water, 1 cup of soda ash to a gallon of water. That did not, I kind of messed that up, but I think I can save it. Okay, and I let it soak for 2 YouTube videos, 20-30 minutes, something like that. Now what I'm going to do, just to hold everything in place while I tie my sinew, I'm just going to grab a rubber band here. Just like that, just to hold everything in place while I start tying. There we go. And then I can take the dot that I used for my center and kind of pull it out from there to make my center of my arc. So this arc's going to go like this. And I'm going to pull. And the reason I use this thing to hold my sinew is so that I can use it kind of as a handle to pull my sinew tight and not destroy my hands. So I'm going to wrap 2 or 3 times, pull again. And then I really want to get a line of sinew around this incline so that I can really make sure I'm holding my arc properly. So I'm just going to come So I'm going to ice dye this, and that's going to give me some wonderful color breaks, some interesting patterns. I am not going to try to really control where the color goes, except that I do believe when I get to the part of putting the colors on here, I will put the colors under the ice. Quite often when I do geodying, I don't. I put it on top of the ice and just let it go wherever it's going to go. But I think for this I want a little bit more control than that. But I am doing a very analogous color scheme here, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now I could be very careful, very like make sure that I'm each section is the same, but I really do like it to be kind of higgly piggly, I think, if you were. There we go. Now I'm pretty much done with the elastics. I'll get that out of there. So here's that second arch. I kind of lost my pleats a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think I still have the general gist here. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to make these pleats here to bring this last final arc up here. There we go. Okay, continuing here, my camera keeps going out. I think I need to empty my memory card a little bit. Now when I get up to these thicker areas, I am wrapping my sinew a few extra times because I want to make sure I have good distinct, well, normally they would be white lines, but in this case they're going to be like blue lines. So I want them a little thicker up here. Okay, the last one I'm going to do here is this one that is the end. Just shifting on me. Go. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. So I'm just going to kind of let that all do its thing over there. And pleat. Again, the outer one is going to have a little deeper pleats than the inner one. And the advantage of working with it slightly damp is that once I do that, it's not going to unfurl itself. It'll stay fairly together. I have it all tied up with the crochet cotton, and now I'm just going to tie a knot, but I'm not going to tie because I want to try to reuse this. I'm going to try to just tie kind of a slip knot or a bow, so that hopefully when I go to take it off I don't have to cut it, but that's just me being cheap. Okay, so there it is. It's all ready to go in the dye bath. Actually in the under the ice dye. So I'm going to get that ready, and I will show you what colors I'm going to pick. So as you can see here, I have built like a little edge around it using heavy duty foil and clothespins, and I do have a rack under it, but it's really low, so once the ice melts, it's probably gonna be a lot of ice on this. It will probably still be a little bit in the muck. It's such a lot of fabric here, and it's probably gonna get 2 coats of ice and dye or something anyway to try to get it all the way through, because I don't want a lot of white areas. We'll just see once I get the dye on here and the first load of ice melts. I'll carefully pick it up and see if the color has gone through to the back side, and if it hasn't, I'm either going to flip it carefully and reapply, or just put another load of ice and a little bit more dye powder on it, and let it melt again. We'll see. I got to this point and realized I don't have any ice made. I don't have an ice maker in my my machine, my refrigerator in this house. So I have a standalone ice maker, countertop ice maker, which is wonderful. But I didn't start it before I started this project. So I have to wait for the ice to be made. And so it's just going to sit here. It's no harm, no foul. Just going to let it. But if I start putting the dye on it before I have the ice ready, I don't think the results are going to be all that great. So I don't want to do that. And I'm just trying to keep my little tails on here, but my clothespins aren't real tight. Anyway, so that's the next step. We're just going to wait for my ice maker to do its thing. And I might go put a few more clothespins just to hold this tight up against here. So there we have it. Okay, I have ice. And I have everything set. And I have gone around and around on what colors I wanted to use, and I think I've come up with a decision. So, I just received wisteria from Dharma today. So, I haven't tried this one yet. So, I'm going to do a little wisteria. Okay. Deep purple. Better black, and the reason I chose better black is because when it splits, it does get some really pretty blues and purples in it, and I think it will be a nice accent. And then this is my only non-Dharma color. I picked this up at a local shop. It's lilac. It's a Procyon dye. And it gets a little bit pinker than the others. Go back. to purple again. I don't think, I'm going to skip the black on the next section. Go right to the lilac again. Where's my deep purple? So those are the two starbursty kind of areas. So what I'm going to do now is put the ice on everything, and then the center scrunchy part, I'm going to sprinkle the dyes on top of the ice in that area.